It is 1:30 p.m. and I feel like I have so much to do before this day is over. Oh my goodness. I decided to schedule a last minute eye exam yesterday because I've been having issues with my contacts and I've been wearing the same AccuView Oasis contacts for over a decade now. But this recent batch that I got, which you buy in boxes of 6, have been giving me some serious issues. You wear them for 2 weeks. I have 2-week disposables, and they keep cracking in the middle of the contact, which is really weird because if you have dry eye or you rub your eyes too much or something, the worst that will happen for me is that it'll crack along the edge, like the very edge of the contact, which is in the shape of a dome circle, will start to kind of tear. But tearing in the middle is very new for me and very scary. So I decided to get my eyes checked just in case. And my eyes were fine, which is great news. So I was able to call the manufacturer and explain the situation, and they're sending me some extra contacts since I have an uneven amount right now because, wow, that's a very loud motorcycle. Yeah, I have an uneven amount, so I'm gonna run out of one and not have enough for the other eye. So I'm glad that worked out, but whenever I have an appointment like that, it totally throws off my day because all of a sudden half the day is gone. And because I traveled for a wedding recently, I feel extra tired. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is Rose Ann's order. So my game plan for the rest of the day is to pack a few orders, and then I have to do a bunch of quality checking because I got a bunch of notepads. Honestly, it's such a juggle trying to make content while making time to draw, quality check, everything. And then I was watching this podcast from Michelle Phan, who has been on YouTube for such a long time, kind of like an OG creator who does makeup tutorials. And she created a podcast recently. And I was excited to watch it because she had Ryan Higa, who is also an old school YouTuber, on there as a guest. And he was talking about how stressful it was to work on a team because he originally started YouTube for fun by himself, and then eventually he had like a whole team working with him, and he was the main creative who was writing the scripts. So everything that was being created was based off of his timeline and creativity, and all of a sudden when he had to try to basically have scripts ready once a week in order for their team to post once a week, that was like a struggle for him. And it really resonated with me because I feel like as an artist who is doing this kind of work, selling stationery online, it's so multifaceted that you have to wear so many hats, and it's really tiring trying to figure out how can you pass on some of this work to other people to help you, especially if you kind of have your own system and layout. I have a very, I guess, specific way of how I like to share content, and also no one else can draw stuff for me since I'm the artist. I have always found that really hard trying to ask other people for help. Because yes, people can help me pack, but they can't help me draw. Okay, I'm gonna pause because the trash truck is here and it's so loud. Okay, they went by pretty quickly. It got so loud. Let me grab some sun catchers for this one order. I'm trying to memorize the order while I record with one hand. Usually I have the invoice with me. So, ducks, horrors, ghost room. I think I remember 3 out of 5 and I already forgot the rest. Oh wait, no, maybe Today Satan was also in it. This is how I'm keeping myself young, friends. memorizing orders. I just created this third bin because we have expanded the collection. So I'm still organizing, but this looks pretty good so far. A Ray of Decking Sunshine, one of my favorites. I'm also excited because I think I found a good way to lay out my invoices without sharing personal information with you all. I just fold this upper flap of the invoice over, and then the address is not visible. And I think the trash truck is back. I thought it left, but I think it's still here. Our windows are really old because the house we moved into is also old, so I feel like a lot of sound creeps in. One, two, three, four, five. So yeah, now I have this way of sharing the packing process with the invoice on the table without me fearing that I'm going to forget to erase or hide an address. Got some sun catchers that have been pre-packed, and I'm going to put them into that little organization system I have. And so many. We have so many of the Keep Going, Keep Growing that I just restocked. And the I Have No Shelf Control, one of my favorites. Boo Berry and the Go Shroom. You got this Boo Cheerleader and the Antidepresso Espresso. Burnt Out But Still Optimistic, as well as the Duck Off. Smiling Sun and the Baby Strawberries. The last few, we got the Free Hugs, Duckhead Unicorn, and both of my ghosty sets, the Spooky Ghouls and the original Squad Ghouls. So going back to what I was saying, I feel like it's really hard to be a creative artist, writer, whatever it is, and rely solely on yourself to be performing a certain task, and then you have to hire people to help you if you're growing, but then that's very stressful because everything relies on you for everything else to keep going. So I think that has been a really big struggle for me. Like, yes, I do need some intermittent help with packing and maybe even some of the smaller tasks like packing my sun catchers or even quality checking, but I don't need it consistently, and I find that it's really hard to be ready all the time and to always be on. So that's something I'm actively working through, and I'm really glad that I have some support and help from family. These notepads are pretty good, but can you guys see that white line? That's a bummer. I bet that's on every page. It sure is. You probably can't see it from the shadow. That's very annoying. It's very mild, but I see it on all of these. So it's like one, I don't know, pixel line. Oh my god, do all of them have that? They just might. No, wait, this one doesn't. Weird. Okay, it started at a very specific point. Let's hope the rest of them are better, because I really don't like defects. A few of them have clamp marks like this, pretty much in every batch. This time I ordered the sticky notes in 3x4 to make them a little bigger so that everyone has more writing space, and I love it. The blue is very calming. It's like a periwinkle. Pastel periwinkle even. Okay, these look good. It's 3:11 p.m. and I definitely feel myself waning. I took all of the product photos that I needed for tomorrow's launch, so I'm set for that, but I need to go through all of them and quality check. So my favorite way of doing it is actually straight from the box, straight into one of my organizers. I just find that a lot easier than stacking up all of the notepads on a table and then moving it into here. It cuts out a step, so I realized over time it's easier to just go straight from the box into either the shelf like this or into one of the bins. This is a brand new notepad using one of my previous designs that says this is Boo Sheet, and I thought it'd be so fun to have a to-boo list instead of a to-do list. So I combined the two designs to create this cute little notepad. I'm really happy with it because I wanted it to be a dark enough purple that it felt spooky, but I wanted it light enough that you could still write with a black or blue ballpoint pen and not have a super hard time reading it. So I added some little bats along the edges and these little X marks to kind of look like stitches to tie in with the patchwork theme of the ghost. And it turned out really great. I really like it, and I hope you guys do too. That was a pretty good set. Here are the worst ones. That one is bent. That one, the glue is just completely peeled off the top. And this one, it's just the corner page that got lifted like this. Okay, I am almost done quality checking. I'm on the last notepad, which is the boobies, and I'm really tired. So I thought it would be fun to wrap up this video talking about everything that is new for Jem and Cozy's Halloween launch. And I'm going to take all the product photos and the videos for my socials right after this. So I thought this would be a fun way to kind of share everything I'm up to, and it would be cool to look back on it. So here we go. For the new stickers, we have the Stop Being So Hard on Yourself, which is a little holographic ghosty. I thought it was really fun to combine like a little traffic cone ghosty with the vest and have a little positive message. I feel like all of us can be so hard on ourselves, so I really wanted a positive reminder to not be so hard on yourself. And I have the two designs dropping for September Stationery Club. Hey Boo, Hocus Focus. I have some serious trouble focusing, so that has been on my radar for a while to have a play on words for Hocus Pocus. And I think I want to turn it into a sticky note as well as even maybe one of those weekly planner pads. I haven't yet, but I have ideas. This is my little spooky pumpkin ghosty, which I turned it into kind of like a stamp silhouette. This is going to match the art print for this month, which looks like this. It's so pretty and vibrant. It really captured all of the watercolors that I used, so I'm really happy about that. And I made a matching sticky note. Everything is so purple for this launch. I have some returning stickers for the season. It's Me Pie, I'm the Problem, It's Me is one of them. And so is the Monstera Jack-o'-lantern. And these are all existing stickers, but I put them in the spread since they're spooky and they match a lot of the notepads that are returning. So I have the Spook Around and Find Out. Such a fun holographic one, so pretty because all of those little details in the back that I drew, they're all holographic, they're shiny. And we got the Booby. This one's a classic and it matches the notepad that has been restocked. These are 4x6-inch notepads. They're tear off and they're great for to-do lists or even writing letters or notes. We have our newest notepad. Let's talk about these first, actually. This was my first alcohol marker drawing, and I made a little batty pumpkin for fun, and then I turned it into a sticky note. I love little stitch details like this because it reminds me of sewing, so I really wanted that detail to be in there. Such a cute pair. And then, newest notepad, very excited. The to-boo list, we talked about that one already, and it's based off of this sticker. So now it's a little matching set. And I have the Boo Berry, which is back. The notepad is an older design, but I brought it back finally. I had to resize a bunch of them, so it took me a while to format. And then I have two returning sticky notes, the Monstera Jack-o'-lantern and my pumpkin pie kitty, which is one of my favorite designs. It's a watercolor piece. I love it so much. And it's only here for this season. So if you're interested in these, I would pick these up because all three of these sticky notes are not going to be here year round. It's only for spooky season. Last but not least is my little bat balloon witch ghosty. So cute. And every order that comes in for the Halloween launch is going to receive a little fox ghosty as a freebie as well. This My Ducks Aren't Quite in a Row sticky note is also part of the launch. I almost forgot to include it here. And it's not spooky, but it's coming out together. So everything will be launching. By the time you see this, all of this will be up at Jem and Cozy. So go check it out if you want some spooky stationery.